Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel, World of Astrid-Ma. Today, we are heading to a destination in the incredible country, Singapore, called Haw Par Villa. Built in 1937, Haw Par Villa, Singapore's largest outdoor art gallery, is the brainchild of Aw Boon Haw, the millionaire philanthropist and marketing extraordinaire who gifted the world Tiger Balm. Haw Par Villa is a theme park located along Pasir Panjang Road in Singapore. The park contains over 1,000 statues and 150 giant dioramas depicting scenes from Chinese literature, folklore, legends, history and statuary of key Chinese religions, Taoism, Buddhism and Confucianism. During the 1970s and the 1980s, the park was a major local attraction. It is estimated that the park then welcomed at least 1 million annual visitors, and considered as part of Singapore's cultural heritage. Burmese Chinese brothers, the rich developers of Tiger Balm, Aw Boon Haw and Aw Boon Par, in 1926 they moved their business from Burma to Singapore. The site, which in front of a small hill and faces the Singapore Strait, was deemed suitable based on considerations of feng shui and was purchased in 1935. Haw Par Villa was being built for the next 2 years in Art Deco architecture. When Haw Par Villa was finally opened to the public, this garden was opened not only to educate the people about the importance of Chinese cultural values and ethics, but also used it as an advertisement for the Tiger Balm product. During the World War II, Haw Par Villa was bombed by Japanese and was subsequently occupied by them. After the war ended, Haw Par Villa was demolished. In 1954, the garden was declared public property and turned into a park. Between 1937 and his death in 1954, Aw Boon Haw commissioned statues and dioramas that served to teach traditional Chinese values. In the 1950s and the 1960s, before the advent of television and shopping malls, Haw Par Villa was a popular recreational destination for Singaporean families. In 1988, Singapore Tourism Board took charge of this Tiger Balm Gardens and renamed it Haw Par Villa Dragon World. The dioramas and statues were restored, while plays, acrobatics displays, and puppet shows were organized and held there. In March 2001, the Singapore Tourism Board renamed this park become Tiger Balm Gardens. In October 2020, Haw Par Villa was closed for renovations and has been open since July 1, 2023 after extension restoration works, and has welcomed guests internationally ever since. Haw Par Villa is still home to some of the weirdest sculptures I have seen though. And worth a visit if you like quirky attractions without the crowds. Back in the day, not many of the Chinese immigrants who came to Singapore could read and write. So the best way to educate and impart the important values from these stories was to depict them in a visual form, like sculptures and diorama were used. The stories depicted in the dioramas are a whole mishmash from across history. Famous stories like Journey to the West, The 8 Immortals Crossing the Sea, 10 Courts of Hell, and to the more moralistic short fable that tell of piety, honesty, and loyalty. Some of the dioramas are very elaborate, consisting of hundreds of mini statues. Others are larger than life and strangely fantastical. There are some Chinese-style pagodas and memorials scattered around the park. But some of the statues that you can see are distinctly non-Chinese. There are giant gorilla statues, an oddly purple koala and kangaroo, sumo wrestlers, and even a mini Statue of Liberty. Par Villa used to be entirely free. But Haw Par Villa now has a paid attraction called Hell's Museum that revolves around death and the afterlife, and in particular focuses on Chinese culture and that of Singapore. Confucius. He was a Chinese philosopher from 685 to 758, and his philosophical teachings, called Confucianism. Confucianism is emphasized personal and governmental morality, harmonious social relationships, righteousness, kindness, sincerity, and rulers' responsibilities to lead by virtue. Sumo wrestlers. Tiger Balm. And this is the Chinese zodiac. And these are the cute tiger statues holding the famous Tiger Balm product. The best way to get to Haw Par Villa is by taking the Mert Circle line to Haw Par Villa station. And Exita takes you right outside the main entrance of Haw Par Villa.